Welcome to the video, guys. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to set up your week of training, and we're going to use my college's cross-country training schedule as a template. Now, I know what you're going to say. I'm not a college athlete. I don't have that kind of time. I'm not 21 years old. I don't have the testosterone of a college athlete. How am I going to do that? Don't worry. I'm not actually saying you should train like a college runner. That's impossible for us adults, but we can use the general pattern of how they structure their training to influence how we structure our training. Because if you can get this right, the overall pattern of runs throughout the week, you're going to reduce your injury risk, you're going to be able to really prioritize recovery, and you're going to be able to get more out of your workouts and long runs and all of your key training sessions. So what I'm going to do here is go through 3 typical weeks when it comes to our training. I might actually just do 2. We might do a typical week and then a race week so that we can look at how we might structure where the workout is, where the long run is, and where we might put the race. And then does that change where the workout goes? There's a lot of moving pieces, especially if you're going to start adding in cross training, strength training, drills, morning runs or afternoon runs, in other words, double sessions. So we're going to layer all that in to this template. And so even if you're only running 25 miles a week, you're going to be able to use this template for your own advantage. Okay, let's get going, and we'll start with our typical week. This is not a race week. This is a normal week of training. Let's get going. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start on Monday, and we're going to go through the week here. So let's start here. This was a typical Monday. We would do a 4 to 6 mile easy morning run, and then we would do our afternoon workout. Now, for some runners, they actually like to do the opposite. They like to do the workout in the morning and then just do that same easy run in the afternoon. You might call it a shakeout. They do very similar things. I don't really think that there's a dramatic difference in how you schedule your easy runs when you're doing a double session. When it's in the morning, it can help prime you for the afternoon session. Just get that metabolism going, get your muscles tuned up, and you're going to feel a lot better in that afternoon session. But if you do it the other way with the workout in the morning and the easy run in the afternoon, it's a nice recovery run. It's going to help you feel better the next day. Both options are valid. Both work really well. During a normal week, Tuesday is just a base run. It's a distance run, a base run, an easy run, however you want to call it. This is typically what we did on a Tuesday, just base run. Now let's get to Wednesday, which is actually just a repeat of Monday. We're going to do exactly the same thing. And there we go. Thursday is going to be the same thing as Tuesday. Now, Friday was always a dedicated recovery run. Even if we didn't have a race, I think it's always a good idea to give yourself either a day off or a recovery run. If you're an adult, you probably want a day off from running, but as a college athlete, we would do recovery run. And then on Saturday, we would do a workout. And then on Sunday, we would do our long run. This is the schedule that we followed for 9 runs during the week when we did not have a Saturday race. Now you might be asking yourself, Jason, you talk a lot about strides. Where would you guys run strides? Well, a lot of places. Let's dive in. Okay, there we go. This is how many times a college athlete is typically going to run strides. They'll often run strides almost every day of the week. So you'll see that we're going to run strides and a series of drills before our Monday workout as well as before our Wednesday workout. We ran strides after our Tuesday easy run. Sometimes we would run strides after our Thursday easy run. This is probably the one time of the week where it's optional. I can see it being a good idea. I can see it being totally fine, just taking the day off from strides. Either option works really well. Now on Friday, we would also do strides after our recovery run. We would always do strides before the workout on Saturday, and we would never do strides either before, during, or after the long run on Sunday. Okay, let's take this same schedule and add a whole bunch of cross training. Let's say you can't run 9 times per week. Most of us can't. So if you're going to add in a lot more cross training, here's what I would do. I would take out these double sessions. Let's not run twice a day. And instead, we're gonna run the workout in the morning. And so both your Monday and Wednesday workouts are going to turn into AM workouts. And then in the afternoon on both days, we can do cross training. This is a very similar format as if we were doing a recovery run, a shakeout run after the workout later in the day. So it acts as a double session, except we're just not doing it with running. We're doing it with cross training. And because we're doing it with cross training, we probably don't need to limit ourselves to an easy 30, 45 minutes of running. Instead, we can do more cross training. So if you got yourself up to the point where you could cross train for an hour or 75 minutes or even up to 90 minutes, I think that's a good thing. We are just developing that aerobic metabolism. We are giving yourself more of an aerobic stimulus with very little injury risk because we're probably going to be cycling on the elliptical or in the pool doing some aqua jogging or pool running. I find all of these wonderful forms of cross training, and as afternoon sessions after the Monday, Wednesday workout are really good places to do it. Another good place to do it is on Thursday as another double session. We are not going to tire ourselves out for a really important run the next day with any of these extra cross training sessions. So you'll see that cross training on Monday doesn't really interfere with an easy run the next day. Same thing with the cross training on Wednesday or Thursday. Now, you'll notice that Friday, recovery run and strides. We don't want to add a lot to Friday. We don't want to put extra cross training. We don't want to put a weightlifting workout on Friday because Friday is our dedicated recovery run. This is where we're getting in some running, we're getting in some strides and working on turnover and foot speed, but we're not doing it in a way that's going to fatigue us or potentially compromise our Saturday workout. And you'll notice that when we do strides, we're either doing strides right before a workout or the day before a workout, with the exception of Thursday. That's why it's sort of optional, which is sometimes why we didn't do it. But both Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before the workout, and Friday are all either directly before or the day before an important faster training session. That's because strides help prime us for the next day's work, especially if you have a workout or a race. You want to get that muscle tension up. You want to give yourself that feeling of pop in your legs, that feeling of responsiveness. Doing strides is going to help you do that. You might be asking yourself, this schedule looks really full. Where would I lift weights in a schedule like this? Well, if you're following this schedule and you're going to get in the gym twice a week, here's what I would do. I would put it on a Thursday because Thursday is a moderate effort day. And if you're already doing a double session on Wednesday with either a cross training session or another shakeout run, it's asking a lot on your body to not only run twice a day, one of those being a workout, and get in the gym for some weightlifting. That's probably not going to be possible for the vast majority of us. So I would skip the cross training on Thursday and instead do a weightlifting workout. We'll just write gym on Thursday. I would also love to see that same strength session on Sunday after the long run. Now, that's going to be a hard day. This is going to be a pretty hard day just because you're doing a weightlifting workout and a base run. Wednesday and Monday are hard days because you're exercising twice. 2 of them are workouts. I could not make these videos without your support. So first, let me say thank you. And this video is brought to you by our very own performance training journal. I have always been in love with hard copy training journals for a few really good reasons. Number one, when I was a new runner and I started keeping an actual training journal like this, I learned so much more about the sport and myself just by that practice. It really forces you to reflect on your training, to think more deeply about what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And if you are constantly reflecting on your training, praising yourself for what's going right, planning for the future, and then looking back on what has previously worked for you, you are gonna really know yourself as a runner, and you're gonna start to make wiser decisions about your training. I also created this training journal because I want you to focus on the training metrics that actually matter. The training metrics that help you improve, get better, and progress with your running. We don't have to focus on everything. We just need to focus on what matters. I also took a lot of inspiration from professional runners that I've talked to on the Strength Running podcast. They're adamant by completing a training journal and reflecting on what works for you and actually giving yourself some praise within your journal. You're essentially completing a gratitude journal. You are building up your confidence in your own abilities over time. And when you look back on that journal before a big goal race, you are going to be reading in your own words why you're capable, why you can do this. And I can think of nothing more confidence building than an act like that. So I hope you check out the new performance training journal. It is now available on Amazon. It debuted as the #4 new release in the running category, and I could not be more proud of it. So thank you again for subscribing to the Strength Running YouTube channel, and I hope you enjoy the performance training journal. For advanced runners, they really only need one easy day, not even a recovery day. Now, I actually think most of us need a recovery day, so you can see how you can really start scaling this down based on your ability. Maybe this just turns into a recovery day. Maybe you just take this day off entirely and maintain the easy day on Friday to help yourself feel better for your Saturday workout. This is also a schedule that has 3 workouts a week. I don't think 3 workouts are appropriate for most runners. Maybe if you're at your physical peak in your early 20s and you have the space in your life, yes, this kind of a schedule might work really well for you. If not, we might want to change this session a little bit on Saturday to actually be your long run. So if you wanted to do a Saturday long run, all I would change here is do the long run on Saturday, and then Sunday will just turn into either a base or a recovery run. You can still do your gym day here. You could move your gym session over to Saturday and do it after your long run, but that is also only giving yourself one easy day in between your 2 gym days. I like to separate them a little bit just so that you have a little bit more space in between these harder training sessions for adequate recovery. But this is a pretty good schedule of how to fit in strides, cross training, workouts, the long run, an easy day, and your weightlifting workouts. Wow. Okay. Let's go over what a week might look like if we were running a race on Saturday. All right, check it out. This is our race week. You'll see we have a race on Saturday, and we only have 2 hard days this week as opposed to 3. We have a Tuesday workout and then the Saturday race. And the way that we've restructured our week here gives us an easier base run on Monday with some strides to help prepare us for the Tuesday workout. we're probably still going to do a shakeout on Tuesday in the morning, maybe slightly shorter. We might do 3 to 5 miles instead of 4 to 6, but pretty much the same. We're just going to get some additional recovery in the back half of the week. One less workout. We might cut the distance of one of these 2 base runs, but we're still going to get 2 base runs. We'll do strides on Thursday and Friday before that race on Saturday morning. One option is to do a very short shakeout run after the race later in the day. Now, for a lot of runners, this is not something they want to do. Something that I occasionally did when I was in college was go for a 3 or 4 mile shakeout run hours and hours after, the actual race earlier in the morning. This can help flush out your legs, can help loosen you up, and just make you feel better later on in the day. So I think that's a really good strategy. And then you would suffer during a very sore long run on Sunday because you are obviously going to be a little bit fatigued from that Saturday race. So here's a schedule where we dialed back the intensity because we were getting ready for that Saturday race. However, we still maintained 9 runs throughout the week. We still maintained a long run and a fair amount of quality, and of course, with very consistent strides. Now, if you wanted to lift on a week like this, here's where I would lift. I would probably lift Monday, Thursday. So we might go into the gym on Monday and go into the gym on Thursday. The caveat here is that these sessions are probably not going to be as challenging as your normal lifting sessions. So don't think you need to set any 1 rep max PRs the week of a race. Kind of go through the motions. The movements are just as important as the amount of weight that you're lifting. So I wouldn't get too bogged down in trying to lift super heavy. Let's just go through these training sessions in the gym on Monday and Thursday in a way that isn't going to leave us too fatigued. Now, when it comes to cross training, I probably wouldn't recommend too much cross training the week of a race because cross training is a long-term endeavor. It's something that's going to benefit you weeks from now, months from now, years from now. It's not going to benefit you days from now. So if you do any cross training this week, it might leave you just more tired for your race on Saturday. However, if I was going to add some cross training, I would do it Wednesday as a double. That's where I would put my cross training. If you didn't want to run after your race, but you did want to get in that double session, I think a Saturday cross training session after the race is also a really good idea. So here we go. This is how my college cross country team structured our week, depending on if we had a race or if we didn't have a race. Now, this is a lot of training. This is a lot of intensity. It's a lot of running. It's a lot of runs. And it's just a lot of work overall. Am I expecting everyone to work this hard? Absolutely not. I don't work this hard currently because I just don't have all this time. However, this is the format, the structure, the template that you can use for your own training. And even if you're not running as much, even if you're not running as many times or you have no interest in going to the gym or doing as many workouts, you can still see many of the principles that lead to this kind of a structure. I think this is some of the best education I got is understanding this structure and also how it makes you feel when you are going through this kind of a pattern. So leave me any questions under this video. I would love to clarify anything if you need that, or answer just any general questions about how to set up your week of training, because it is this pattern of training, this intensity and volume distribution that's going to be really helpful as you structure your training in search of that next PR.